Well, I shouldn't just walk into someone's home, even if they were rude. Oh, good, a kind face. I have tried time and again to ask politely for my friend's safe return, but they rudely mock me in response. Would you help me retrieve Privet? They took her away into Breakwater Cave, didn't even ask my permission. Oh, my Privet is without a doubt the most beautiful sheep on the island. Just ask anyone and they'll agree. A swell of Hadalids reside in this cave. They displayed such inner ugliness and took Privet. I just heard her cries from inside. Well, even if my Privet was just your typical sheep, which she is not, that would not excuse the Hadalids' rude behavior. I need someone strong to support my negotiations for Privet's return. How would you feel about joining me in exchange for coin? I knew you looked friendly. There goes a true friend to animals, I said. Now, with you to accompany me into the cave, our negotiations can begin. They may get rough, but I refuse to leave without my Privet. Of course you do. I could go on for an eternity about her. I already mentioned her beauty, but she's also so considerate. One time, I caught her chewing on a shirt. I felt very cross until I realized she'd done me a favor. It was my old, worn gardening shirt. I like to give used cloth to the seamstress in town. She makes patches, but she's old and it hurts her to cut cloth, so I cut it before donating. Privet saved me the trouble. She's great. I regret that I didn't introduce myself when they arrived. Such a simple gesture from me could have prevented this crime. Hadalids aren't soft like sheep. They're covered in hard shells with nasty spikes, like overgrown mud crabs. Oh, and the smell. Like rotten meat floating in dirty seawater. They usually live far below the water, so I shouldn't judge. Maybe my scent of fine lanolin and fresh hay offends them. Oh, listen to me gossiping like a child. This happens when I get emotional. Sadly, no. That's the sort of thing I'd learn in a friendly conversation. I've heard rumors about Hadalid attacks on other islands around here. In the past, I assumed that was just bigotry. Now, I'm not so sure. I am so much more than a simple farmer. They only think of animals as a source of income, or even food. No, I am an animal steward. I serve each of the creatures under my care. Whatever their needs may be, I attend to them. Absolutely. In many ways, I take care of every creature on High Isle. Those that cannot speak for themselves, anyway. Many animals find their way to my home that deserve special attention. Privet was just such a sheep. I woke one morning and instantly knew someone needed my care. I leapt from bed and ran to my door, and just out front, there she was. Oh, Privet was quite the beauty. From the moment I laid eyes on her, I knew I had to serve her. away from me, stupid thing! Is it gone? Steer clear of Tor Dreyok, stranger. Those strange moats are everywhere. I saw one of them turn a cow into a person. I'm getting out of here before one of them gets me. I'm not spending the rest of my days as a farm animal. I don't know. I was just trying to cut through the area around the old wizard's tower there when I spotted those strange moats. It was chaos. Unnatural things started happening, and then one of the moats started chasing me. No, not that I've ever seen. And I take that shortcut almost every day. The Magister who lives there and his Khajiit assistant, Ember, are nice enough. I hope they're all right. But I'm not crazy enough to go back. You look brave. Maybe you could?
Get back here, you stupid thing!
Watch yourself, stranger. There's some errant magic out here. I hope you don't mind me saying so, but you look like someone who's good at cleaning up messes. I've got a big one for you, if you're up for it. I'd pay you for your time, but I need someone quick on their feet. This mess is turning into a crisis. I was experimenting with a spell while my mentor, Magister Iren, was away, but the magic went awry. If it doesn't get dealt with, it's going to spread beyond this area and harm a bunch of innocent people. I can't fix it on my own, so I need help. I need to develop a counterspell, but first the protective wards around the area need to be restored by someone other than myself, so I don't taint the magic. That's where you come in. Like I said, if you help, I can pay. Hold still. You'll need this unless you want to spend the next few hours as a sheep. Not as glamorous as it sounds. And here, take these crystals. You'll need them to restore the wards. The first one is in the meadow just up the hill to the north. Mostly they serve to keep errant magic inside Tor Dreyok's boundaries. You know, the standard 3 points of protection thing. Unfortunately, my spell kicked those wards in the teeth. They're not protecting anything now. All you have to do is place those crystals I gave you on the 3 protective wards. It'll be easy, I promise. Mostly trying to keep anything with ill intent away from you. My errant spell seems to be affecting the creatures around Tor Dreyok in all kinds of ways. Things that were once docile might be a little, grumpy right now. The name's Ember. Well, technically it's a nickname, but it's all I use. I'm Magister Iren's apprentice. I think he regrets taking me on sometimes, but he's got a big heart. He saw that I had no formal training and told me to come here to learn. This is Tor Dreyok. There's a big wizard's tower, you can't miss it. I've been living there with Magister Iren, plus a few people who keep up the grounds and the tower itself. All of whom have been affected by my spell, I'd guess. The spell I created has my magical mark on it, if that makes sense. There are certain types of magic that can be affected by their creator, intentionally or not. Messing with forces already attuned to you can have unpredictable results. Exactly. Magic is powerful and great and all that, but it can be pretty sensitive. Fussy, Magister Iren likes to say. And since my spell is already wreaking havoc across Tor Dreyok, I'd rather not take any unnecessary risks while fixing it. Here we are. That's one ward restored. Let's go fix the next one. It's in the glade just west of here. I really really should have paid more attention to Magister Iren when he was explaining how these protective wards work. I should have paid more attention to him in general, actually. The next one is in the Glade. It's just across the way to the west. Unfortunately, no. The wards are just to keep the unstable magic inside the bounds of Tordrea. That way, I can work on a counterspell without worrying about the original spell spreading. Magister Iren made sure I knew what they were and what purpose they served as soon as he took me on as an apprentice. He wanted me to be familiar with as much as Tordreac as possible, or at least the parts that keep it safe. Here we are. I'll make sure nothing gets in our way while you place the warding crystal. Oh, you're a natural. Maybe you should have been Magister Iren's apprentice. The last ward is south of here, inside a cave. This is the last one. Let's get this over with quick. Place the warding crystal. That's all the wards. Let's talk outside. I need to figure out what to do next. I know my rogue spell is to blame for most of the weirdness happening around Tordreac, but it almost seems like these damned moats are becoming dangerous. They're doing more than just mischievous magic. Ugh, fish biscuits. I need to figure this out. I'm not sure. The moats aren't new. They're always hanging around Tordreac. I think they're drawn to places like this. But there was nothing in my spell that should have made them act malevolent. And there are a lot more around than usual. Yes, I can make traps to contain them, but I'm still worried about their behavior. While I work on the traps, could you head into the tower and look to Magister Iren's things? He might have a book with more information about the moats. See if you can find anything in the tower about the moats. I'll meet you there and start on the traps.
taking in a mangy cat like you.
Relax, Huldressa. I'm working on it.
You better work fast, because when Magister Irin... What the... Oh!
All right. That was a little funny. You in here? Did you find anything useful about the moats? I finished the traps. Once we set them up, they should take care of the moats. Then I can sort out the livestock in Huldressa, and at some point create a counterspell to fix everything for good. Did you learn anything useful? Oh, I read that one, with the Wind Sorrow lady, right? Oh, what if my spell disturbed her and that's why the moats are acting up? That's troubling, and also a problem for future Ember. Let's focus on one thing at a time. Or two things, actually. The traps are finished, but the livestock and Huldressa are still a problem. I want to figure out a way to return them all to their natural forms before the illusion does any damage. Could you set the traps while I do that? Here, I'll mark some places to set the traps. They're in a pack by the work tables outside. While you do that, I'll figure out how to fix the livestock and Huldressa. Then I can work on my counterspell. Meet me by the livestock pens when you're done. Good luck setting up the traps. I'll meet you by the livestock pens when you're finished. All right, let's get you two back to your regular chicken selves. Ha! I knew it would work. Run along, lady. You're back! The traps worked, didn't they? See? I told you I know what I'm doing. Mostly. Speaking of which, I think I figured out a way to return the livestock to their original forms. I made something. I know it looks like a spoon, but, well, technically it is a spoon, but I enchanted it. And I call it the Spoon of Undo. I just tested it on those chickens. It removes the illusions perfectly. Normally I wouldn't bother, but illusions can be disorienting and cause terrible headaches. I don't want any of the animals suffering while I come up with my counterspell. Oh, and Huldressa. I suppose I don't really want her suffering either. Here, take the Spoon of Undo. If you could run around and fix the livestock and Huldressa, that will give me a chance to finally whip up this counterspell. By the time you're finished, I'm sure I'll have something figured out. Just look around for people making animal noises. I'm sure they won't be hard to find. And tell them I'm sorry when you change them back, would you? As for Huldressa, I'm all in favor of leaving her as a guar. Just kidding. Kind of. It sounds cute when you say it. It's a pretty simple reversing enchantment. It should counteract the magic from the motes and dispel the illusion. Basic stuff. Not even I can mess up. I wasn't trying to turn animals into people, I swear. I had a theory about animating the inanimate. One of Magister Irin's texts gave me the idea. That's probably why he locks so many of his books away, now that I think about it. Well, I'm hoping to avoid that scenario. But if it does happen, I'm not sure. He's an odd one. I'm too old for him to punish, and he's not really the type to dole out discipline anyway. I think he'd be disappointed, which is so much worse. Well, they're still animals. They might run around a bit, but I doubt they'll make it too difficult for you. They're not exactly geniuses. Personally, if I was a sheep and got turned into a human, I think I'd go off on an adventure. I'll be in the tower working on the counterspell. Come find me when you're done.
Was I just a guar? This is all Emma's fault. Oh, I feel strange. It was quite unpleasant. Thank you for saving me. I know I'm nothing to gawk at, but I prefer to look like this instead of a guar. All right. She made me look like a guar. What do you think? I told Magister Aaron that Ember was trouble the moment she showed up. Trouble, I said. But did he listen? There wouldn't be anything to work out if that careless Khajiit would listen more and mind her elders. She's brash and often quite rude. Why am I standing here talking to you? I'm going back to my kitchen, and I may just have a glass of brandy.
Fish biscuits. That wasn't right.
I assume Huldressa is back to her charming self? I've run into a problem. I have good news and bad news. The good news is that I've nearly finished my counterspell, but I need to find a tome called The Mirrored Way to complete it. I know Magister Aaron has it, but it's not with the rest of his books. That's the bad news. Because if the Mirrored Way isn't with the rest of his things, it's probably locked away in his arcane library. The library he specifically forbids me from entering. The tome I need has to be in there. Without it, I can't make the counterspell. Magister Aaron has warned me not to enter his library 1,000 times. But these are special circumstances. There will probably be some magical traps inside meant to keep me out. So I'll need your help getting the book while I deal with them. Once we find the Mirrored Way in Magister Aaron's library, I can finish my counterspell. I just hope the old man wasn't serious about putting something dangerous inside to keep me out. He was definitely kidding. Had to be. Come on, let's go. Not sure. I picked the lock on the place as soon as I figured out he didn't want me getting in there. He's since put up protections and told me to stay out unless I have his permission. I'm sure he's got some kind of ward or barrier set up. It wasn't hard. Mages like Magister Aaron tend to think in very magical ways. They'll put magicked reinforcements over every inch of a place, but forget a few pins and a good ear can foil them. And to be fair to him, I'm a very good lockpick. Necessity. I wasn't exactly raised in the lap of luxury, not even in the lap of genteel poverty for that matter. You get good at things like that if you don't want to be hungry, or caught by guards or angry merchants. Follow me, the library's downstairs. Give me just a moment to pick the lock. All right, let's get in and out as quick as we can. I don't sense anything. Maybe the old man was bluffing. Fish biscuits! This spell is specifically targeting me. I'll figure out a way down. You just focus on getting the book. get out of here before I set off something else. Magister Irin really didn't want me getting in there, huh? I have to admire the dedication. I didn't know the old man had it in him. He had something to target me specifically. What a sneaky old goat. Good thing I had you with me. You managed to get the book, right? Let me see it. Let me take a look. No, not that. That would be bad. What about this? Oh, here it is. It's Amahan ist Exis, not Gahanemexis ist. Good thing I checked. See? That's personal growth right there. 2 different arcane glyphs. They do entirely different things when written and pronounced aloud. The second one is what I need for my counterspell. Now, all that's left is to get to the old ritual circle and cast this. I'll need your help again. The counterspell should set everything right in Tordreyak. Things will be just as Magister Irin left them, and I won't have to face his furrowed brow. I'll need your help at the ritual site. Casting a spell this big is a 2-person job. The old ritual circle is a place of power, and I'm going to need all the help I can get. I plan to draw on the magic there to help strengthen my counterspell. Magister Irin told me about it. This probably isn't how he wanted to implement the lesson. Maybe? Old tales and myths always start from some truth at some point in time. The moats around here seem to be affected by more than my spell, is all I'm saying. I always expect the worst. I find it helpful. If luck is with us, maybe just some irritated wildlife we can deal with as we've done before. Or some of the bolder moats. But if there is some truth to the ancient tales, then maybe we find some sort of really cranky wind spirit. The ritual circle is just up the hill. I'll meet you there. Light the 3 ritual flames here. I'll get the ones on the altar. Here we go. me. We should be able to see it materialize. Any second now. Look, we did it! Come on, let's get back to the tower.
Used to work under these conditions. I was turned into a Guar. A Guar!
Of course, Huldressa. I promise to address the situation.
See that you do.
Huldressa sold me out, didn't she?
Let me speak to your associate first, Ember. So, you were witness to the events here, and as I understand it, you had a hand in bringing them to an end. For that, I thank you. And if you'll indulge me, I do have a few lingering questions. What in the world happened? I don't know what I expected, leaving her to her own devices here, even temporarily. Ember and Trouble are old friends. I can still feel the repercussions of this spell gone awry, as you say. Do I have you to thank for rectifying it? I see. As trying as she can be, she truly is a talented mage. She can be impatient. Given her natural inclination to magic, it's understandable. I always knew I was perhaps not the best teacher for her. I took her in because I knew I couldn't leave someone as skilled and impulsive as her to her own devices. But I have neither the time nor aptitude to teach her properly. It's my own failing. Speak to her, would you? I must collect my thoughts. Don't worry. Ember isn't in any trouble. While I am not pleased about my traumatized cook, I must concede that everything is back in order and the consequences of Ember's magic weren't dire. Still, I must consider what to do now. I don't mean to give the impression that Ember is incapable of learning. That's not the case. She's a bright mage, one of the brightest I've ever seen. Everything I've taught her, she's taken to like flame to parchment. But therein lies the problem. Well, just like a flame, Ember wants to devour everything around her. Her appetite for knowledge is ceaseless. That's good quality in a mage, but not necessarily one I'm equipped to deal with. By my own admission, I'm methodical, cautious, by the books. Exactly right. Ember needs someone who can keep up with her. Someone who thrusts themselves headlong into adventure so that she may temper herself and her magic beside them. Perhaps when I was younger, I could have been that for her, but not now.
Hey, you! Let's talk while Magister Irin collects his thoughts. I thought Magister Irin would be as mad as a wet dragon, but he looks amused. It's probably because he's wanted to turn Huldressa into a Guar at some point. He just won't admit it. And the fact that we fixed it all before he got here helped. Well, I've been thinking. I'm grateful to Magister Irin, but sitting and reading about magic has little appeal to me. This whole thing just proved to me that I'm too restless here. I want to do magic, not just study it. Go on adventures, see things. I think it's time. I've been given good training here, but I still have a lot to learn. For me, the best teachers are curiosity and experience. I learn best by doing, so I need to get out in the world and continue my training. Ember the Sorcerer. I like the sound of that, but that can come later. First, take this. It's not much, but you deserve it. I think we made a good team today. If you ever need a sorcerer who has your back, let me know. We'd have some fun. Magister Irin, I'm grateful for your teachings and your patience, but I think it's time for me to move on.
The world is an excellent teacher for one of your talents, Ember. Do write me occasionally.
I should go pack my things. And say goodbye to Huldressa. Not a chance.
If Ember wishes to take up more formal training in the future, she knows where I am.
Everything all right? Sure, I guess. Anything specific in mind? I hate getting caught when I'm trying to be sneaky. It's so embarrassing. I pride myself on being able to slip in and out of somewhere quick without a trace. You want to talk about something? All right. But can we do it fast? Traveling with you is a good time. Better than sitting around reading books. What's going on? I love harvesting runestones. Need something? You going to enchant something with that? Can I watch?
Next time, welcome to our hall. Are you familiar with the guild? The Fighters Guild. You should consider joining up. We have a new guild master and a new singular purpose. Why don't we talk for a moment? Excellent. I know we'll all be drawing blades together soon enough. Now, what can I tell you? Right. Our new guildmaster is an Argonian, sees all colors. She has us all hunting down the Daedra and their damned anchors. You might have seen them. Enormous chains, plagues of Daedra boil out to lay waste to the countryside. Hard fights. No, we only draw blades in service to the guild. We're technically neutral in the war between the three alliances. We love the Eagle Banner and Her Majesty, of course. But every race, every creed belongs under the Guild Hall's roof. Guildmaster Yofnir passed away recently, very suddenly. I always thought he'd die with a blade in his hand. But he passed away in his sleep, called to Sovngarde by his ancestors. We all miss him. But Colors has proven to be a very able leader. Ha! There's a good question. We train our members in special techniques, and the higher-ups are always looking for motivated members to help with special projects. You never know, you might be the next Yofnir. Then let me be the first to officially welcome you as an associate of the Fighters Guild. Get out there and take the fight to the Daedra.
A fascinating application of the technique. Welcome. Are you here on Mage's Guild business? Yes, of course. We're lawkeepers across the face of Tamriel. Guild members seek out books, tomes, and ancient scrolls in their travels. Why don't you speak with me for a moment? Perhaps you'd like to join. Always good to speak with another knowledge seeker. Guildmaster Vanus will be pleased. We're book hunters of a sort. We seek out new information, capture it in our libraries, and make copies for distribution across Tamriel. The Guild doesn't care about battlefields or boundaries, just knowledge and the acquisition of new tomes. We are neutral in the war between the three alliances. When we're on Guild business, we kneel to no king or queen. That's why you'll see members of every race in our halls. Vanus Galerian, one of the founding members of this august body, still holds the proud title of Guildmaster, overseeing every guild hall in Tamriel. He works with other ranking members, such as Tellinger, the Artificer, to ensure our future success. We provide training in unique spells and abilities only available to members. And from time to time, projects crop up for those with an adventuresome spirit. You may end up working with the Guildmaster himself. Excellent. You are now a student of the Mages Guild. Every book you find will now earn you reputation in the Guild.
This is not good. Rigert needs help. Again. Hello there. I am Rigert, sometimes called the Brash, and I am large delegate for the Ebonheart Pact Cultural Exchange. Or I would be if I had my scepter. That is what King Yoren told me. He said, Rigert, go to High Isle and be Ebonheart Pact Cultural Ambassador. And be large. Delegate and large. That is me. But I lost my scepter of office. I had it with me last night, but now I can't find it. Yes, I went out with delegates Tanilin and Olganash last night. We ate and drank like kings. I don't remember all that happened, but I spent most of my gold. And I lost my official scepter. Will you help me look for it? I can pay you a little. I've been thinking very hard, and it hurts. We should begin at the Ancient Anchor. That is where I went last night with the other diplomats. The innkeeper was angry with me this morning, but she might talk to you. Meet you there. Rigert leads glorious expedition of Nord cultural exchange. I travel to many lands to explain excellence of Nord culture with great forcefulness. Yes, yes. One day, Rigert was drinking in the Skald King's Hall and loudly explaining all the good things people don't know about Nords. King Joran said he knew that already, and I should go tell somebody else. So, I did. They are delegates too. Tanilin is very important elf from Aldmer Dominion, and Olganash is noble orc from Daggerfall Covenant, who brings culture wherever he goes. I don't remember what we talked about. It must have been another diplomatic success. Must think again. No. We parted ways with great enthusiasm in Strait, just outside the Ancient Anchor. I went back inside, and I had it with me then. I need my scepter of office. I can't lose another one, or they'll dock my pay.
Have you seen the note? If you seek companions for your adventuring, look no further. This one can help with that. Ah, of course. These listings are where other adventurers, much like yourself, can declare their interest. Those of a similar proclivity can join up together and form guilds. Take a look. This one is sure a group suited to your needs awaits you. Have you had the chance to review the guild listings, friend? Wonderful! This one hopes you found something that interests you. Too often, this harsh world becomes isolating. Finding companions can make it bearable, Here, a little something for your time. This one is quite pleased you stopped by, and hopes that you find a guild that appeals to you. Amsa wishes you many friendships and adventures in your future. The listings are a place for like-minded adventurers to come together. The world is quite vast, no? Many times it is difficult to find those with similar interests to your own. With this register, you need look no further.
My dockhands are watching for your cargo, Lady Arabelle. They know it's precious.
There was a storm off the coast. Perhaps it delayed the ships.
Forgive me if I do the job you hired me for, Lord Bacaro. You there, might we speak? I have a keen eye for talent, my dear, and you're practically oozing it from your pores. I am Lady Arabelle DeVoe. If you're looking for gainful employment, I have a proposition for you that pays exceedingly well. Care to hear more? Oh, nothing tawdry, my dear. We'll be too busy for romantic shenanigans before long, I expect. Some precious cargo was supposed to sail in on the morning tide, but it never arrived. I need someone not known around the island to be my eyes and ears. While tales of my exploits credit me with all sorts of talents, I can't be in more than one place at a time. I could use a fresh face to mingle with the locals, determine if anyone knows anything about my 3 missing ships and their cargo. Lord Bacaro's conference can't proceed without that cargo. Here's what I need you to do. Check the inn, the lighthouse, and the Lockabane Shallows. See if anyone knows or saw anything. Then meet me outside the North Gate to compare notes. Me? Oh, I'm no one special, my dear. I've been an adventurer, a Lion Guard officer, a spy, a diplomat. People claim the Investigator Vale stories are about me, or that I wrote them. Ridiculous. I'm retired now, but I still dabble from time to time. Oh, pish-posh. Do these look like the ink-stained fingers of a writer of overly imaginative and lurid tales to you? I'm rather fond of the bawdy investigator and her adventures, though. They remind me of my younger days. I'm overseeing security for the conference. A few months ago, Lord Bacaro approached me, explained his grand plans, and lured me out of retirement, you might say. My charming personality. When I was an agent for High King Emmerich, I traveled widely and met many dignitaries, including Lord Bacaro. He asked me to make sure everything went smoothly for his conference. So far, it's been anything but. The gentleman beside me, Lord Bacaro Valoris, leads the Society of the Steadfast. They're a philanthropic fellowship that provides aid to people who have suffered in the Three Banners War. The Society is sponsoring a conference here on the island. That's a well-guarded secret, my dear. Perhaps after you've proven yourself, I can bring you in on the details. For the moment, knowing any more won't help us find out what happened to my missing ships. That's not an option I care to contemplate, not while there's still a chance to find them. Forgive me for being evasive, but it's a rather sensitive topic to discuss in public. We've already faced adversity, and the conference has yet to begin. Certainly. Since you're new to High Isle, I understand you may not be as familiar with the local area as I am. What do you wish to know? The ancient Anchor Inn sits just up the street near the city gate. It's one of the more popular places on the island. In my experience, inns are an excellent location to pick up rumors. Wherever you think is best, my dear, but do get started soon. My intuition tells me that some sort of mischief is afoot, and my intuition is rarely wrong. Lord Bacaro's conference can't proceed without that cargo. Here's what I need. Certainly. Since you're new to the currents of Lockabane are strong. Flotsam from the open sea often washes up along the shores of the waterway. Some of High Isle's poorer folk comb the beach looking for salvage. Let's hope they haven't found any today. Gonfalon Head Lighthouse, blessed by Kinnereth herself, stands atop the hill just west of town. It offers an excellent vantage from which to watch the nearby waters. Perhaps the lighthouse keeper saw something that will help. Possibly. When ships fail to make port, it's only natural to wonder if they were damaged or blown off course by a storm. The lighthouse keeper has a perfect view of the approach to Gonfalon Bay. If my ships were out there, she might have seen them.
Ah, a visitor. Or another one of Lady Arabelle's associates. Either way, welcome to our island. Bacaro Valorous, founder of the Society of the Steadfast, at your service. I hope you find your visit to High Isle restful and profitable. Yes, a sudden squall of unusual intensity. It died out just as quickly as it arose. I noticed it off to the northeast. Dark clouds filled that part of the horizon. Perhaps our ships were delayed by the shifting winds, or decided to wait out the storm. I'm afraid that's privileged information. Suffice it to say, the cargo coming in on those ships is vital to the conference the Society of the Steadfast is sponsoring. Of course I do. But I learned long ago to have patience when it comes to such matters. Not every setback is a conspiracy, and not every delay is the act of a Daedric cult. Though, if you do learn anything of imminent concern, please let us know. High Isle is the primary island in the Sisters Archipelago. Technically, we're a Breton holding, but we try to behave as a neutral port. People from all over Tamriel come to experience the natural beauty of the island. Well, nobles mostly. Parts of it. But we have a rich history, and the same sorts of dangers you'd experience on the mainland. Bandits, pirates, wild beasts. And you might want to avoid our sister island, Amanos. It's a harsh jungle that has long served as a prison. Mostly political prisoners from the Empire at first. Later, rival nobles, pirates, murderers. The worst of the worst. Today, it also includes war criminals and certain prisoners of war. Amanos Station is friendly enough, but the jungle is deadly. I'm a philanthropist. I started the Society of the Steadfast to give relief to those caught up in the suffering caused by the Three Banners War. We establish healing tents for the wounded, distribute food and water, and provide whatever aid we can. As Lady Arabelle said, that's not something we're ready to talk about. Not until the cargo from the missing ships is secured. After that, I'll answer any questions you have. I'll even proclaim the purpose of the conference from the town square.
I'm a dockmaster, not a bloody mage. What does the lady expect me to do if her ships never made it to the docks in the first place? Should I be? Lady Arabelle suspects some sort of foul play, but not on my docks. Not a chance. Gonfalon Bay is safe. Everyone knows that. Trouble comes from the mainland, not from here. Of course, the waters to the northeast can be treacherous. The closer you get to Amanos, the more unpredictable the currents become. And storms constantly barrage the coast, not to mention sea elf pirates. A good captain knows these things. None of that would keep Lady Arabelle's ships from reaching port. Like I said, storms close to Amanos aren't that unusual. I doubt the ships we're waiting for would have sailed that far north. Just in case, I sent people to look for signs of wreckage in the shallows. I really don't expect them to find any, though.
Just one more match. Give me a chance to win my gold back.
And what will you bet? That ridiculous nose ring? Find another racket, Bragus. Tribute ain't for you.
Heard all that, eh? Guifa's a palms up card sharp. One of the best tribute players in town. But like I always say, if you want to take the measure of a grot, you've got to climb. That nose ring jibe was unnecessary, right? I'll get her next time. Sorin, right? She definitely has an eye for talent. Yes, I can tell you all about Tribute. It's a card game, a scavenger hunt. Zen's price, it's practically a religion for some folk. You want fame, gold, it's all there for the taking. Ah, fresh player. Excellent. First things first. You need to learn the rules of the game, and you'll need a couple of decks of tribute cards, of course. Find Razamad in the Gonfalon Gaming Hall. Tell him Bragus sent you. He'll get you sorted. Razamad's the game baron here in Gonfalon Bay. You won't find a kinder or more knowledgeable player west of High Rock. Not that he'll go easy on you, mind. He expects the best from the players he trains. Trust me, I should know. Oh, Guifa, just a lover spat. She loves making fun of my nose ring, and I love losing money to her, apparently. Match made in Aetherius. Usually, no. Most players are in it for the joy of competition, but you know what they say? If there's an uncertain outcome, someone's got gold on it. I play a lot of unsanctioned matches. Putting skin in the game keeps things fresh. Freeze bones. An introduction would be nice, wouldn't it? Call me Bragus. Professional gambler and semi-professional everything else. Aside from sailor, of course, I hate the water. The better question would be, what made you leave Valenwood? The answer, my friend, is debt collectors. Vigorous ones. Once I save up enough, I might go back, but I'm in no hurry. When a stiff breeze comes through, the sisters are really beautiful. Aye, that big building there. Used to be a House Mornard villa, believe it or not. House Dufort seized it during the transition of the duchy, but get tired of paying for the upkeep. The Duchess sold the place to Razamad about a year ago. Well, we drink in there too. People need a place to relax, chum. The ancient anchor's fine for sailors on shore leave, but people looking for a really good time always come here. Plus, it serves as our tribute chapter seat. Yeah, a chapter is like a team of sorts. The Gonfalon chapter meets here, but we're wandering into the weeds a bit. Focus on the game first. We'll discuss the rest later.
Greetings, my friend, and welcome to the Gonfalon Gaming Hall. Please, drink and make merry. We have many strong players gracing the hall today. Lots of action. Tales of Tribute is free to watch, but far more fun to play. Do you play, Wayfarer? Then you have come to the right place. Tales of Tribute is a game of stories, some fantastical, and others all too real. Two players share their tales with decks of cards. The game is elegant and easy to learn, but it takes great effort to master. First, you will need 2 decks. Each deck represents a different story, a different strategy. Your opponent brings 2 decks as well. Once you and your adversary combine your decks, the game can begin. A shared pool, you see. a level field of play. Make your way to the beginner's lounge and find my associate, Bragas. Tell him Razamad approved an initiation match. He will lend you a pair of decks and teach you the basics. Complete this trial and return to me for your reward. Dear Bragas often strays, but never for long. His coin rarely holds out. He must be back by now, safe within the confines of the gaming hall where he can be supervised. Do not worry, though. Bragas is a fine player. He will teach you well. Bragas, yes. He loves the game in his way. I wish he exercised more caution. He often forgets how much he has to lose. But he's a bright lad, full of youthful energy and hope. That is more than I can say about most people in this world. Yes, of course! As Bragas no doubt told you, I am Razamad. I hold many roles and offices: Tribute Master, Game Baron, and Proprietor of this hall. I also lead our regional Roysters Club chapter, the Gonfalon chapter. Yes, the Roysters Club. It is a far-reaching organization that administrates all aspects of Tales of Tribute. They organize tournaments, publish new rules, sponsor chapters, and, most importantly, they manufacture the cards themselves. Anyone with a pair of tribute decks, a Game Baron sponsorship, and a thirst for competition, yes! Complete your training, and it will be my honor to welcome you into the club.
Ha-ha! If it isn't my new old friend. Found the place easy enough, eh? Pull up a chair, have a drink. As long as you're buying, of course. I'm a little light in the purse at the moment. So you talked to Razamad yet? Oh, did he? Oh, I love it when we bring new players into the fold. Gets boring playing the same old salts day after day. We need new blood in here. Now, before we begin, you'll need these. 2 tribute decks you can borrow for educational purposes. You try to defeat me, of course. First to 40 prestige, or winning the favor of all the patrons, is the victor. Don't worry, chum. I'll explain that as we go along. And loosen up, eh? You'll do fine. I'll go easy on you. Right. The essence of the game is to buy cards to add to your play deck. Each of us will use our play deck to score prestige, until one of us gets enough prestige to win. Lots of cards, eh? The ones on your side of the table are yours. The ones on my side are mine. The cards in the middle are what we call the tavern. We each claim cards from the tavern to improve our play decks and earn enough prestige to win. You'll take the first turn. Let's both draw our starting hand. Each of your cards have a coin value, see? You can use their coin value to buy cards into your play deck from the tavern, the center of the table. Try to keep track of the value of the cards in your hand. Each card has a cost, a suit, and an effect. If I were you, well, this card here seems like the right one for you to buy with the coin that you have, so claim it. When you buy a card, you subtract its cost from your coin total, and you get the card. Then a new card replaces that card in the tavern. You still have enough coin to buy another card, so let's do that. Now, you can't play a card you bought right away. When you buy a card, it goes into a cooldown pile here, see? You can see at a glance what card suits are in your cooldown pile. It looks like you don't have enough coin to buy any other cards. And there's nothing else you can do at the moment. When that happens, you signal that your turn is over. Any resources you have at the end of your turn will be cleared once your turn is over. Except prestige, that is. Once your turn ends, you discard your cards and draw 5 new ones. You can start to plan your next turn while I take mine. That said, you should always keep an eye on what your opponent is up to on their turn. They might buy a card or take an action that will force you to revise your plans. So now, it's my turn. I'll control the table until I signal the end of my turn. See if you can figure out my strategy based on my actions. Well. The cards you drew gave you both gold and power. Power has 2 uses. The first is combat, but it also turns into prestige at the end of your turn. Remember, earning prestige is how you win. Remember when I told you that your currencies get cleared when you end your turn? Well, power doesn't carry over between turns. But when you do signal the end of your turn, any power you have left over turns into prestige. Good to know, eh? See these little fellows? They're our patrons. Each deck comes with its own patron, and they play an important role in how the deck works. See? Each patron has something they want. A price, let's call it. They also have something to offer. A reward. Pay a patron's price and you'll get their reward. You have to pay the price all at once and you usually get the reward immediately. Try paying one of these patrons. Whichever one you choose to pay will offer you a boon. Just keep in mind, you're only allowed to pay 1 patron per turn. They can get a little jealous. The patron you just paid, notice anything different about them? They favor you now. All patrons start in a neutral bent, and then show favor to whoever pays them first. Of course, you can pay a patron that favors your opponent. If you do, that patron will become neutral. Pay them again on a later turn, and then they'll favor you. And here's a tip. If you ever can get all patrons on the table to favor you, you'll win the game. Even if you have less prestige than your opponent. Just one more thing to keep an eye on. Alright, you need to draw new cards, but your deck is empty. Now we shuffle your cooldown pile, and that becomes your new draw pile. You might draw cards you bought last turn, as well as those you started with. Your cooldown pile is empty. That means all the cards you started with or bought during play are now in your draw pile. Right, it's my turn again. I'm going to draw some coin, use it to buy a card, and draw some power from my play deck, which will become prestige when my turn ends. Just like your turn, only more experienced. Those cards you drew can trigger a combo. See how they have extra effects if you draw another card that matches their suit? Luckily, you bought cards with the suit you need to trigger these combos. Some of the most powerful effects on cards come from combos, and a card will tell you how much of each suit you need to activate its combo effect. Great players always try to trigger combos, so keep track of those suits. We're closing in on the end. I can tell by keeping track of the prestige we've earned. For this practice match, we're keeping the total small, but in a real game, you'll need more prestige to win. A grand victory! Well, maybe a little too grand. Go talk to Master Razamad and tell him you bested me. Just don't get cocky. Next time won't be so easy.
You return victorious, yes? I hope you enjoyed the match. I have played countless games of both luck and skill. And truly, Tales of Tribute is the best by far. So, now that you've learned the rules, do you wish to continue your gaming journey? Now, you claim membership in the Gonfalon chapter of the Roysters Club, a fraternity of tribute players committed to fair play and stiff competition. As an official Royster, you will gain access to a host of opponents and decks of your very own. Oh, countless rewards! With each victory, you will rise higher in the club rankings, do well enough, and you may even earn the right to challenge the club's founders, the creators of the game itself. So what do you say? Will you join us? Then, it is my honor to furnish you with your first pair of decks, and welcome you wholeheartedly to the Gonfalon chapter of the Roysters Club. May good fortune shine on you, my friend. I am eager to see you put those cards to good use. You joined the Roysters Club at an opportune time. Smaller club chapters are preparing for a series of tournaments, ours included. The contest will not begin for some time, though, so I suggest you get some more practice in the meantime. The gaming hall provides a wealth of opportunities for Roysters Club members. Why not look around and familiarize yourself with them? Bragas can make the proper introductions. Speak with Soren, too. She's another protege of mine. As in all things, the best way to improve is through doing. Set out and find new opponents. Win or lose, your skills will grow, and your strategies will sharpen. Once you establish yourself in the beginner's circuit, return to me for a reward. Remember, in these early days, winning and losing mean little. Regardless of a match's outcome, you must see every game as an opportunity to hone your skills. It may sound nonsensical, but sometimes losing is the surest route to improvement. I would be happy to. The tournament started informally. Premier players like myself and Talib Fells gathered in major cities to match wits and sharpen our game. The Roysters Club leadership caught wind of it and began sponsoring official events. Well, many of the players who participated in those early matches went on to form teams, which, in the fullness of time, became club-sponsored chapters. Now those chapters compete against one another in groups. It is better to share a victory, yes? A grand prize, yes. The Roysters Club and city governments all contribute to a weighty purse. But in truth, the greatest tribute players compete for pride and glory, not coin. And the revels, of course. The Gonfalon chapter loves to celebrate. No, my friend, I have achieved all that I set out to achieve at the tournament level. Now, I prefer to observe, teach, and celebrate my pupils' victories. Mostly the celebrating part. With luck and determination, we may raise a glass to you someday.
can't do that. You know the rules. Those days are behind me.
Yeah, of course. Just trying to help out my friends. No worries, alright?
Hey, it's our newest recruit. You made the right choice signing up here. The Gonfalon chapters produce some of the best tribute players in, well, Gonfalon Bay. That's why we're bound to start winning again. Eventually. Yeah, of course. We should start with rankings. Look around. Every player you see has a place in the Roysters Club rankings based on their experience. That rank determines who they can and can't challenge. It's banded, see? Like a layer cake. You're just starting out, so you're at the novice rank. As a novice, you can take on other novices, but not higher tier players. Oh, don't fret. You'll square off against a game baron soon enough. Rising in the rankings is just a matter of experience. Just challenge another novice here in the gaming hall. Get a real game under your belt, not just a bib and diaper match where Bragas lets you win. Oh, not that that's what happened with you. Oh dear. Just go play a game and let me know how it went. Remember, everybody's got to start somewhere. Win, lose, it doesn't matter. Just focus on learning the game, getting into the rhythm, right? I'll cheer you on from here. It's not every day I get to see an aspiring champion cut their teeth. You saw that? It's nothing, really. Bragas just gets a bit of swagger when he hits a hot streak. He's been winning a lot recently, so he offered to get me in at the ground floor. Tip me off to sure things so I can make a bet and such. Are you kidding? He hates it. He tries his best to curb Bragas' antics, but we're getting to the point where he's ready to let that elf learn his lessons the hard way. Sometimes you have to hit the bottom before you can rise back up to the top. Perceptive. Listen, your focus should be on the fun of tribute. I'm not going to drag you through the details of my sordid past. We'd be here all day. Just get out there and have some fun, all right?
Here to play tribute, eh? Good. I need a challenge. You here to play tribute or chew the fat? I'll tell you right now, I'm not a conversationalist.
Hail, Wayfarer. Can I interest you in a game of tribute?
Not bad for your first game. Not bad. Better than my first, that's for sure. I did see you hesitate once or twice. If you need a refresher on the rules, you can always check the rulebook downstairs at the bar. Now, I think it's time you met Kishka. She's the Moony Khajiit downstairs. Kishka and her brother create daily challenges for the chapter to keep us sharp. It's great practice, and you can win some fine rewards, too. Keeping her attention's no small feat, but when she focuses, look out.
Kishka brought you here to help proffer tribute challenges, little brother, not sit around mewling about lost biscuits.
They were muffins, sister, and they were very expensive.
Forgive this one's baby brother. He was weeping about... Wait, what was he? Never mind. Welcome to the club. This one assumes you seek new challenges and amazing rewards. This is true, yes? If so, you have come to the right place. Yes, and what fragrant challenges they are. Each day, Kishka creates new tasks for rank and renown. One will pit you against the common folk of Tamriel. The other will set you against card-playing adventurers like yourself. I offer only 2 challenges per day, but you can earn sweeter prizes by winning multiple matches. Small rewards for a single win, fine prizes for 2, and a grand bounty for 3. Kishka will also make sure your rank soars if you participate. Ha! You would fill your purse with heaps of tiny baubles? No, Walker. As this one said, you can win 1 match for a tiny reward, or keep playing for a bigger prize. Simple, yes? The more you play, the sweeter the reward. It is Kishka's pleasure. Come back soon, yes? This one's grand challenges will be waiting. Now, you should go find Bragas. He is out on the seaside patio, most likely. Kishka is very busy doing... something. What was Kishka doing again? This one.
There's my new favorite roister. I guess if you've spoken to Soren and Kishka and gotten their sage advice, it's down to me to provide the final part of the chapter's introductions and provide one last little acorn of wisdom. We should have a word about decks, I guess. Those decks Razumad gave you are just the beginning. Fresh decks pop up all over Tamriel, and each of them offers a unique style of play. You can even find upgrades to the cards you already own. I've earned a fair amount from just playing Tribute. Kishka offers them in her daily challenges sometimes, especially if you hit those win streaks. I've even heard rumors that adventurers find them out in the wild. Well, between you, me, and old Bendu there, I've heard they might offer some new decks as prizes in the upcoming tournaments. Beyond that, it's a mystery. Just keep working on raising that rank by playing matches. That's the best path to success. Well, if not, you're close. Go talk to Razumad and let him know you introduce yourself to the chapter's premier players. He'll be glad to hear it.
Welcome back! You return wiser and hungrier for competition, is it not so? Tribute has that effect on people. Now, I have something for you. A gift and formal welcome to the Gonfalon chapter of the Roysters Club. I know you will put it to good use. Just a little something from the chapter's strongbox. Now then, you have decks, you are versed in the rules and familiar with your fellow competitors. Truly, you have all you need to step into formal play. We proudly welcome you to our chapter. I have it on good authority that preparations for the Roysters Club tournaments are well underway. Continue to refine your strategies, collect new cards, and increase your rank. If you work hard, I'm certain you'll be ready when the time comes. Of course, the Roysters Club ranking lists allow players to track their mastery of the game and find players of comparable skill. As always, stiff competition and fair play are the club's greatest priorities. By playing tribute, of course. You can challenge other adventurers like yourself, or face off against less dangerous players in taverns and clubs the world over. Kishka's challenges provide rank bonuses as well, so don't pass them up. Ah, that is where the tournaments come in. Once you reach the highest echelons of your current rank, you can compete in that tier's tournament to advance to the next level. Luckily, the novice tournament will begin soon, so start winning matches.
What do you want?
House du Fort? Ah, seeking a commission with the Honorable House du Fort? We need able hands to rid the Sisters of a menace we've endured for too long. We are prosecuting a war against the Dreadsail pirate fleet, and the Admiral ordered me to gather as many capable fighters as I can muster for a landing party. Need about a dozen, all told. You can use the dinghy there to ferry your party to the flotilla's flagship, the Loft Empyrean. Report to Purser Ashcroft, and she'll see that you're accounted for. Just that it's incredibly dangerous. The Dreadsails are some of the nastiest pirates we've ever seen, and their pillaging has gotten out of control in recent months. And it's no wonder the Admiral is out for blood.
Attention, Marine. There's fighting to be done.
Reporting in? Not a moment too soon. Got you marked down. Make sure your compatriots are all here as well. Timing will be everything if this mission is to succeed. Arrival confirmed. I'll make certain your pay is waiting for you when you return. One less worry to have on your mind before a large-scale battle. Are you ready to get started?
I got my nickname because my eyes reminded people of the warm embers of a fire. I think fires are much prettier.